Welcome to Topic A, everyone. I'm your host, Gary Perno. On this week's Topic A, we're going to talk about an organization that helps people with disabilities right here in the greater Hazleton area. We're going to learn all about Arcil and the 25th anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act. We're going to learn all about that coming up on Topic A only on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Penn State is right here in the Hazleton area.
We're top ranked by corporate recruiters.
We have 4-year degrees, so you can finish here
or at another Penn State campus.
There's new scholarship money available.
And there's no application fee when you visit here.
Penn State Hazleton.
Download your application fee waiver at psu.edu/visit-hazleton.
The Beer Garage, 202 East Diamond Avenue in Hazleton. More than just beer. Coffee, all sizes, only $1. Get your lottery tickets here, too. Stop in today. The Beer Garage in Hazleton.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone, and I'm very pleased to be doing this show to talk all about helping those in our community who need a little extra helping hand, and I'm joined by Denise and Diane from the Anthracite Region for Independent Living, which is based right here in Hazleton in the Marco building. So first of all, thank you ladies for coming on Topic A.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So this is a wonder. Your organization is wonderful. I always read about you. You guys are doing stuff, helping out the community any way possible. And so Denise, I guess I'll start with you. Let's talk about first the history. Let's get a little background about the organization, nonprofit organization. So talk to us a little bit how it got its start and where we're at today.
Sure. This is actually a big year for us. This is the 25th anniversary of our center here in Hazleton, and it's also the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act. And so we were established in 1990, and being one of the Center for Independent Living, we're one of 18 in the state of Pennsylvania. It's under federal law that there are centers throughout the United States. So if you're someone with a disability and you decide to move to Nevada, there are actually centers for independent living also in every state of the United States. And each one of the centers for independent living have to provide 4 core services, which are advocacy, information and referral, peer mentoring, and skills training. And as of this year, they're going to be adding a 5th core service. So this is not a big change, but there's going to be an added core service that we pretty much have been providing in our office anyway. So, but that is transition, and it's a 3-prong. It's a transition for students into the community, students into continuing education, and also for nursing home transition, which would be someone who's currently in a nursing home to go back home into their own community to live.
Okay, so expanding your services as well. And being a nonprofit organization here, no matter where you're a nonprofit organization, hard at times, especially with getting the resources needed. As the executive director, what are some of the challenges you see every day facing not only your organization, but the people you're trying to help and provide services for?
It's very challenging. Most of our funding comes from the state. We're a line item in the state budget. So when the state budget gets cut, our services and our amount that we get gets cut. But we still do the services. We still provide them. And one thing that is difficult is if a consumer is not able to get services based on services being cut throughout the state, throughout the Commonwealth. Right. And that's part of where our advocacy comes in. Not only are our consumers advocates, but we're advocates for them to be sure that the funding is available to keep their services that they need to live independently.
And it's such a big thing. We hear about people with all different types of disabilities. They don't know where to turn. They don't know what to do. Sometimes when they hit a certain age, it's okay. Now what happens? Elderly parents worrying about what's the next step for their children who may be with a disability. And your office kind of provides a lot of information and a lot of help going out. So somebody maybe in need, whether it be maybe autism, so any type of those disabilities or those hurdles to jump over. What does your office do? How do you work with the family? Maybe work with the school, work with people in the community to do that?
I always look at our center. We have two main departments. We have more than that, but those are the two main. The one is the 4 core services, which is our independent living services. We also have the waiver program, which is the under 60 for persons who are under 60 years of age to receive waiver, which means that they're nursing home eligible, but they want to remain in their home to receive services. So the independent living, and for both programs, someone would call our office, ask about what they need and what they're looking for, what kind of help they're needing and assistance, and then it would be directed to who they would need to speak to get them set up with the services that they need. The one interesting thing, and we've been talking about this recently in meetings I've been at, is that Centers for Independent Living are pretty much all age and under 60 waivers, under 60, but as far as our core services, that can be from when they're young till they're over 60, to any age. And we also are across disability. We take any disability. So, and there's several of those out there, and that's something different about the Center for Independent Living. We are not. People do not live at our center. That's sometimes people say, do you have housing? No, we do not do that because we want people that we work with to be living in their community. And so that is not a place where people live. So.
Right. Well, and Diane, your part in this as the marketing director and going out there sent me all this information. A few weeks ago, she goes, I'm going to send you everything that we can talk about, which was great. I love when people come prepared. Diane, there's a lot of programs you guys are involved in, whether it's helping provide this or doing this with this organization. Talk about your involvement in some of the organizations out in Greater Hazelton that people may think, really, I had no idea.
Well, sure. One of the most things we're most noted for is our work with the Vital House program. I don't know if you're familiar with Vital House. It is actually a home in the community sponsored by the school district, and Arcil staff works there working with students who are what we call transition age, and that would be age 14 to 21, who are individuals with disabilities, but we want them to be as independent as they can be. Independence doesn't necessarily mean that you do everything on your own. Independence means that you're in charge of some of those decisions. You decide, do I want to wear the purple dress today? Do I want to wear the green dress today? You decide, do I want spaghetti or do I want macaroni and cheese? It's the simple things a lot of times that build into bigger things. And we want our young adults to have the same opportunities in the community that anyone else would have. So we work with the Vital House program, and we work on those skills. They learn to cook. They learn to write checks. They learn to repair the house. They learn to do advocacy for themselves. And being a self-advocate is a really important skill for everybody, whether you have a disability or not. So we really promote self-advocacy, learning to speak up for yourself, learning to go into the doctor's office and saying, I don't feel good and I don't think this medication is working. Can you help me? Or going to the assistant's office and knowing how to fill out those forms. That's self-advocacy. Obviously, we assist people with those issues
Right,
as well. We'll sit down with somebody and we'll fill out the paperwork. We'll help them understand what paperwork they need to have in their possession to apply for other supports and services, to apply for a job, for instance. A lot of times people come and they just have the job application and they think that's all you need, and it's not.
Right,
you know, you
right.
need to have your social security card, you need to have your driver's license, you need to have that kind of information. So we provide supports with Vital House, which we consider really an important piece of what we do.
It's a wonderful facility, and we featured it a couple times on the news with the kids and the staff and everything, and it amazes me to see all the work being done in that small little house by the students, doing it themselves with, you know, just everyone watching over their shoulder, make sure they're doing it right. It just amazes me. I'm going to stop here. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the programs that are involved here with the Anthracite Region Center for Independent Living. I almost screwed that up. We'll be right back here on Topic A only on WYLN.
The Helping Hand Society's annual telethon will be held Saturday, April 25th, live from the Laurel Mall in Hazleton and broadcast on WYLN TV 35. Enjoy local and regional entertainment all day Saturday from noon until 11 p.m. The Helping Hand Society telethon live from the Laurel Mall in Hazleton on WYLN TV 35.
Well, I'll never forget it. 1 minute, we were talking about going to the movies, and the next, Maggie could barely speak. It was a stroke. I thought I was going to lose her. But I never saw doctors work so fast. Anyway, she's coming home tomorrow. I just hope she doesn't yell at me for killing all the plants.
Visit the Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau website at tourinapa.com for the listings of the many events you will find in Luzerne County. From wine festivals, hill climbs, tomato and kielbasa festivals, you will find it all in Luzerne County. Luzerne County was named the best outdoors destination in Pennsylvania by the official Best in PA website. The Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau will help you relax, relive history, and marvel at the area's stunning natural beauty. Luzerne County, you'll find it right here in Northeast PA. Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road near Rockland. 384-2314.
The Wiltsey Center is pleased to announce their 5th anniversary birthday gala, Saturday, May 2nd at 6:30 p.m. at the Historic Castle in Hazleton. To begin the celebration, the Mahoney Brothers will present Jukebox Heroes Live, a recreation of many of your favorite rock and roll icons. After the show, continue the celebration with light refreshments, which are included in the price of your ticket. Tickets are on sale now and can be purchased at Ticketmaster.com or Boscov's in Hazleton.
Join WYLN News for 2 very special mayoral debates. On Monday, April 27th from 7 till 8 p.m., the Republican candidates for Hazleton Mayor, Mayor Joe Iannuzzi and Councilman Jeff Cassett, with post-debate analysis immediately afterwards. And then on Wednesday, April 29th from 7 till 8 p.m., the Democratic candidates, Councilman Jack Mundy and Grace Cuso, will face off in debate with analysis immediately following. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone. And we were talking before the break about all the services that are provided through the Anthracite Region Center for Independent Living. And now we're going to talk about an event that's coming up very quickly on April 30th about parent and student presentation, so I'm going to turn to, I guess, Diane, since I was told that during the break. Dan, you're going to talk about this event, and this is this the first time you guys are putting it on, or is this a yearly thing you guys do?
We run this every 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Essentially, it's a training about getting a Social Security check, SSI or SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. Somebody who has a disability and is collecting. A lot of times they'll come to us and they'll say, you know what, I'd really like to work, I'm bored, I don't feel like I'm contributing, I don't have anything to talk about at parties, you know, I'm not part of my community, I want to work, but if I work, I lose my Social Security check, and I can't afford to not have that check coming in, because that's my safety net. That's what keeps me from having, you know, from not, well, it keeps me in an apartment, it keeps me having food on the table. I need this. And we bring in someone, this time from Goodwill Industries, who will actually sit down with folks and explain to them how you can keep your check or keep your eligibility for your Social Security and have a job. Essentially what they explain is how much you can earn before that check disappears completely. And even when it disappears, you still stay eligible, so that if something happens, say that you're a young adult with a mental health issue, and you go to work someplace and everything's going great. You're medically stable, your medication's working, you're doing a great job, your employer loves you, and then things go south. And it really just becomes a bad situation and your employer lays you off. You can start right back up with that Social Security again. You are on a list that you can start right back up. So it's a safeguard. People don't understand this, so every couple of years we offer this training, and it's open pretty much to anyone who collects SSI or SSDI, but we have really focused it toward young adults who are graduating, their families or caretakers, as well as young adults who have recently graduated, who might be 25 or 26 and are having trouble getting a job, having trouble staying employed, and are afraid of the consequences.
Well, and the graphic's up on your screen right now. So it's Thursday, April 30th from 6 until 8 at your community room, which is 8 West Broad Street, level M, which is in the Marco building, if you're not familiar with that, in the Marco building. And you can give you guys a call, 455-9800. RSVP by the 28th, so you can get all this information. And what are, obviously, the SSI and SSDI will be talked about. Parents or guardians be able to ask you guys questions about kind of any type of the services you provide as well?
Yes, we'll have resources available there from a number of agencies. We've hosted several trainings in the past few weeks. Everybody has left us information about employment, about supports and services from other social service agencies, and we'll have that information available as well. Plus we have some future trainings coming up that they'll learn about at that point.
All right, awesome. Well, I want to Denise, I want to talk to you about the 25th anniversary of the anthracite, and also the 25th anniversary of the signing and the bill going into effect for the American with Disabilities Act. I almost said independent living. This was a big step with civil rights 25 years ago, and really you think of it not that long ago when a lot of stuff was being changed. How important was this legislation to be passed and put into effect to help people from young age to into their elderly age with services like this?
It was huge. It was a legislation that changed how people with disabilities interacted in their communities, how they were, able to access services and access places of business. Curb cuts. Things that we don't even think about anymore. We're so used to. That's what the ADA was, to make places accessible. Elevators, and they're just a couple off the top of my head. And it was it's a basic civil right, and to them to be able to do what they want to do in their own community. So, I always laugh at people with the curb cuts, baby strollers. They use those a lot.
It's something you don't think of all the time.
But that's not what the purpose of those are for. And with the sounds when people are crossing the street, so that they know if the light's red or the light's green, they could walk and not walk. And so it was major.
And I know, not to talk about the bathroom on TV, but handicapped bathrooms. A friend of mine, handicapped, was in a wheelchair, and the bigger stalls and the grab bars are are so helpful and you know, moving around and doing that, something we take for granted, right. You know, but this legislation, it changed all that, so everyone, it was more accommodating and everyone was able to take part in everything.
Right. And it's sometimes it's the littlest things that could make a bathroom accessible. You know, looking at, you know, when you're talking about, you brought up a bathroom, so going in from the doors not being, but that they're lever
right.
to get into, so someone's able to open up the levers on the sinks. And we've gone in places that weren't accessible because the garbage can was located in the wrong place, and you move the garbage can, and then the bathroom becomes accessible. Right. And they're like, oh, that's all it took. And I mean, sometimes places do have to have, you know, major. Usually it's nothing, and we do try to work with businesses to see. We have people in our office. We have DAC group in each of our counties, and earlier I meant to mention that our coverage area for our Arcil services is Southern Luzerne County, Carbon, and Schuylkill County, and then we do provide waiver in 13 other counties. Right, and but you know, we'll have a business, or we'll have someone in our DAC group, which is our accessibility groups, and they're consumers of ours that meet, and they'll say, you know, such and such restaurant isn't accessible, and we'll go out, take a look at it, and it may just be something minor like moving the garbage can to make it accessible.
And now, if a business is out there or whatever is saying, well, you know, we're going to be opening, blah blah blah, can they call you and say, hey, could you come in here and make sure that you know everything's okay?
With new builds, it's not a problem because it's written in the regulations, so it has to be done. The problem is when someone's, you know, rehabbing a place or doing modifications to it or changes, and we've done that. You know, even staff have been places and said, you know, you need to just kind of do that, or it's not accessible, or family members of ours, because we talk about it, we don't realize how much, you know, and they'll say that bathroom wasn't accessible, they need to and I thought, they're right. Hotels and accessible hotel rooms. So anytime a business ever wants, we have staff that are trained to be able to come out and work with the business to get it accessible. And it's, you know, for someone doing that, it's much cheaper if they do it before they finish all the construction work than if they wait till the end. And even grab bars, and because it's not just attaching a bar to a wall, because you have to make sure that there's, you know, support behind it, so when they do, it doesn't pull it right off of the wall. So we make sure that all that's done, but it's nothing major. So
okay, well,
definitely calls.
You know, and definitely if you are a new business going out there, give them a call, 455-9800. They come in and tell you, hey, you may want to do this, you may want to do that. When we come back here on Topic 8, we're going to wrap things up quickly. I've got a couple other things, so stay with us here on Topic 8 only on WYLN.
At Cuck's Turkey Farm, we are family owned and operated for over 45 years, and we consistently strive to produce premium poultry. We offer the finest all-natural country poultry, antibiotic-free, all-vegetarian fed with superior white meat yield and exceptional flavor. So we invite you to experience the unique natural taste of our poultry for your enjoyment and your health. Give us a call or stop in today.
Should be filled with the ingredients that most inspire you. And let relaxed sophistication fill the air and the walls around it. Find beautiful cabinetry, finishes, and details that capture your personal style. Craft Made. It becomes you.
Call, click, or visit your local Craft Made dealer today.
Last week, WYLN was first on the scene of a house fire on Northley Court in Hazleton, where a man and his 3 dogs lost their home. WYLN was also on the scene of a deadly car accident on Mountain Road in Sugarloaf Township, where 2 people lost their lives. When an elementary school teacher in the Tamaqua Area School District was named one of the 12 finalists for Pennsylvania Teacher of the Year, WYLN was there to speak with her about this great honor. WILN, news at 5:30 and 10. We're your local network.
And welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. We were just joking in the break. I found my replacement if I go on vacation here on Topic A. We want to talk about, real quickly, 5 minutes before the end of the show, and something you guys are very adamant about talking about is the emergency plan, emergency preparedness, emergency responders being able to understand and deal with situations that you probably don't think of. So there are, I don't want to say classes, but classes available for emergency responders to kind of go to and learn and understand about different things that are going on that they can help in an emergency situation with a person.
Sure. What we found out, and statistically nationally they have discovered, is that first responders get into a lot of situations where they are very uncomfortable because they're dealing with a person with a disability and they're not really sure how to respond to that person or understand that person's disability well. And B, their lives are in danger because they go into a burning building, say, and find out that there's somebody on the second floor that's in a back bedroom. And they find out that that person is in bed, unable to ambulate, unable to get up on their own, unable to come down the steps, and might require 2 or 3 people to carry. So that first responder's life is now in danger. We find that to be a very, very concerning situation. So we decided to put in for a grant with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation to work with first responder entities, fire, police, ambulance, the Red Cross, anybody who responds to emergencies, about people with disabilities and how they can best incorporate some communication and get people can notify them if they have a disability and there's something that needs to be done special in an emergency. So we also thought that there was another piece to that people with disabilities really need to take responsibility for their own care in these situations. They need to be prepared for an emergency with appropriate medication, doctor lists, information, etc. But also they need to let that first responder know, hey, I'm in the back bedroom and I'm not ambulatory. So how do they do that? How do they communicate that? Well, the counties that we work with all have special needs registries. So in Luzerne County, it's Smart 911. You can go to smart911.com. You can register who lives in the house, what special needs they have, etc. In Carbon County, it's a program called House Watch, which is a paper document. And in Schuylkill County, it's a program called SNAP, which is a special needs assessment assistance program. So all of those things, a person with a disability can take that responsibility. Then when 911 gets called because there's an emergency, it comes up on that first responder screen. Hey, somebody in this house has epilepsy, somebody has diabetes, somebody is not ambulatory. And it can really make sure that that first responder stays safe as well as the person with a disability. Additionally, there is a statewide program called the Yellow Dot program. And you can go on yellowdot.org, I believe, and register your name, get a booklet that looks like this, and you fill it out and you put it in your car. And in that envelope is a little yellow sticker that goes in the back left rear view window. And first responder sees that in a life-threatening situation, in that golden hour of rescue, sees that dot, knows somebody in the car has a disability. Perhaps it's autism and they're afraid of people in uniforms. They see that, they can check the glove compartment, find that document and say, okay, this picture matches this person we have to treat a little differently in this emergency situation. So for us, this is a really important venture. We've had a lot of individuals who work with Arcil who've been in life-threatening situations where knowledge on the part of the first responder would have helped and communication on the part of the person with a disability would have really been a lifesaver, literally sometimes.
All right, all great information, and I know I'll be looking at that first responder information. And remember, everyone, these are representatives from the Anthracite Region Center for Independent Living. Diane and Denise, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this information. I learned a lot in the half hour that we were here. You're welcome on the show anytime to talk with us about all these programs. And remember, on Thursday, April 30th, from 6 to 8 at their building, which is in the Marco building on 8 West Broad Street, they'll have a parent-student presentation all about work issues with Social Security disability. So all that information, make sure you contact our office, 570-455-9800, to call them and lovely ladies to talk to, trust me. Thank you so much for joining us here on Topic A. Remember, this is where the community and community members come to talk and talk about the issues in our community. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here and only here on WYLN.